So, Alina, hello again. Greetings from Slovenia. You may start with your lecture now. So, good luck, and we are looking forward to your presentation. Please.
Thank you for this invitation, and I'm happy to be again with your group. And I hope I can share good information for all of you to can help the people around and to see the important of the bee products, what for me was take more and more attention year than year. And for me personally, I think you can take all what you want around me except the bee products, so have a huge importance. And I try together with my colleague who is doctor and with the other colleague who work in the university to find the best way to use all the bee products. Today, I try to help you with the information about bee products and immune system. And I try to explain for you what means the immune function. To have the good immune system, it's the most important. It's to have in working all the part which in charge with the immune system. What means this? It's very important your style of life. If you are in completely stress all the time, or if you are in the stress of the working, in the stress of the family, in the stress with the all the people around, and you can't manage all this, your immune system will have the reaction. If you don't have good nutrition, if you don't offer for your body what he needed to sustain all this immune system, already he will have the reaction. So the most important first is to try to understand that it's the first line in the immune system is to live in harmony with yourself. The second is to have a good nutrition for your body. And the third is to avoid to take in your body something who can stress your body, like alcohol, tobacco, drugs, or anything else. So, in the moment when you decrease your immune system, you have their chronic problem in the different part of the body, and you feel it all the different part, and you tell, oh, it's so hurting me. So there immediately you must know that your immune system is not working correctly. If you don't have a good mood of your mind, and you all the time you are in depression, or you don't feel happy, on all the time your head it's in the negative way, there is the signal that your immune system is not working correctly. And in the moment when you have all this kind of reaction, the second stage is to take a disease, different type of disease, depending of how many time you leave the immune system to don't work correctly. So try to think positively. Try to look what tell your body. If he have the reaction, if he tell you something like hurting somewhere, there it's time to think to help your immune system. In the moment when you want to help and to support your immune system, you need, by the diet first, to consume something who contain the most important elements who sustain your body. One of these is desanoic acid, 10-HDA, vitamin A, C, E, D, zinc, selenium, probiotics, and B complex. It's one of the most important to have it in your diet if you want upper immune system. Where we can find it all this? Of course, all bee products. Raw honey, what means honey who is not heated. Fresh bee pollen and fresh bee breath. This means pollen and bee breath who is not dry. Royal jelly, queen larva, drone larva, or apilarnil. If you have it in your daily food, in that moment, you can take it in your body all these food who contain what need your immune system to be sustaining. I try to help you with some scientific provement that what I tell you it's correctly, and it's true that all bee products have importance in your daily diet. So one of our publication, it's bee collected pollen and bee bread, and what they contain inside to sustain our health. So to have the benefits for your health. And in this publication, I try to prove it that AP nutrition, who means to introduce all the bee products in your diet, it's the way to sustain and to have in correct function your body. What means this? If you look here, you can see that I try to introduce in our daily diet. What means if it's in the middle, you must to use it this minimum 3 times per week. And to replace the sweetness, what you eat every day, like sugar, to be replaced with honey. So this means every time when you want sugar, the most incredible way to work for the sugar is that all your soldier who take care of your body, in the moment when you eat sugar, they go and sleep. And in the moment when you take honey, in that moment, you open the way to function in the high level with all the cells in your body. So you see, the way is completely different if you eat honey or if you take sugar. I try to prove many times that bee products are functional food. What means this? It's the environment and the nutrients what need your body to be sustaining in the high level, to have all what they needed to can working correctly. And it's many researchers who prove it this, that all the bee products are food first. Let's see what's happened when we eat honey. Normally, the people ask me how many gram of honey I can eat it. Usually, my answer is try to eat honey how much you can. Why? Because after you take 2-3 spoons of honey, you can't eat anymore because your body can't ask more because he can't support to eat more sugar than this. So 2-3 spoons usual for people, it's enough for one day to offer for the body the nutrients what the body needed to working correctly. But in the scientific provement was one of the best researcher with all the bee products is Professor Boltavnov from Bulgaria, and he do a lot of research in the way to prove what kind of limit of the bee products is good for the body to don't have adverse reaction. In my opinion, it's not important how much honey you will eat it, because your body will tell alone how much you need it. This is first. And second, never in my most than 11 years of the experience, I don't saw nobody to have adverse reaction of the honey. But I saw the people who have adverse reaction of the honey who is heated. In the moment when you warm honey, if you warm in 100 degrees, there you can't tell you that it's more honey. But if you do something like this and the people tell, I can't eat honey because I have allergy. No, they don't have allergy. They can't digest this kind of honey which is heated. Because in the moment when you heat, you destroy most of the bigger part of the honey, what have it there inside and who is useful for the body. In the moment when you heat it, you destroy nearly everything what is important to receive it from body. Why honey are living food? You must to know that honey, it's the most powerful food who have the most important high level of the enzymes. This means it's the substance who your body needed to can keep it in the body, to take it, to use it, or to put it out because he don't need it. Everybody have one bag of enzymes. In the moment when this is finished, your diets, your life is finished too. Why? Because without enzymes, all what you eat it, you can't digest and take it in your body. So the most high level of this have honey. No one food in the world have this power like have honey, but here I speak with raw honey who is not heated. So to can offer for the people something who is good, it's very important to offer high quality of honey. Honey to don't be adulterated, this is very important. To don't feed the bee only with sugar and after to harvest the honey. To don't be treat the honey with antibiotics because this will found it inside in the honey. And to don't warm honey with upper than 40 degrees. With this, you can tell that you have therapeutic honey with who you really can have the results. If I look with the properties of honey, what was proved in the research, if you look here with so long list, the most important is immunomodulator. This means, in the moment when you eat honey, like all the other bee products, what we have it, they help your body if he need it, or they stay in the body and it's use it in the moment when body need it. What means this? They help the body to find the way to receive the balance. If it's too much, come in place. If it's too little, come in place. So in all the way, they do the modulation. They help the body to find the way to find the correct function. Don't exist in the world 1 spoon of food, what you can take it, and in 10 minutes to fill your body with the different energy. What means this? Honey offer for our body high energy, food with high level. It is not important that it's child or old people or teenager. Everybody have the same reaction in the moment when they eat honey. Why? Because honey contains hydrogen peroxide. This means in the moment when you take 1 spoon of honey and you put it in the water, you receive it oxygenated water. For this, for the people who have a problem with the respiratory system, and everybody try to find the device to put the oxygen inside in your body, you must know that all the bee products have these properties. If you'll eat bee products, you'll offer the oxygen inside in your cells and they will work correctly. Because the problem with this virus, which is everywhere now in the world, the problem is that the cells don't receive correct the oxygen. So it's so easy. Take 1 little spoon of honey, raw honey, put it in the water and drink 2-3 times per day to receive enough oxygen for all your cells. It's not so huge thing. Very short story about this. I was in Korea with the Apimondia Congress, and there I was meet one very old man who told me, I want to offer you one of the most old drink what we have it in this country. And I was shocked when he was offered me 1 glass of water with 1 spoon of honey. And I thought, what is possible this? What he do it? And he told me, no one drink in the world can offer you what offer for you 1 little spoon of honey, put it inside in 1 glass of water. And after I found the answer, why? Because honey contain hydrogen peroxide. We make oxygenated water. Another bee product who can help us even on this moment, it's wax capping. What means this? It's the surface of the what's the name of this? The second, I will tell you exactly. Frame of the frame in the moment when you are full of honey. To can put it out the honey, you put it out first the wax within the upper part of the frame. All these contain all little piece of all bee products. So wax cappings is the most important bee products what we can have it in our beehive. Is the most important products what bee can offer for the health for the people. Why? Because on the surface you can find it everything: propolis, honey, even the follow of the bee venom. It's there. All the bee products is inside. If you start and junk like this will clean all the part which in charge in this area of the body. So if you have it virus who stay here with this kind of products, if you junk like this, in that moment you'll keep it inside and you can put it out. So it's not so heavy to maintain him on this level and to don't give from him the way to go down. And for me, this product, all the time when you have it the problem on this area of the body, this is one of the most bee products who can help your body to clean first. Exist the other wax cappings from the queen cells. In the moment when you produce the royal jelly, to can produce royal jelly, this is made in the queen cells. And you must to cut the upper part of this. This I calling wax capping from queen cells. And this contain inside, except the wax cappings, contain even royal jelly and queen larva, which is one of the most important antibiotics what you can find it. So if you start to junk this, in that moment, you will clean and you will offer the possibility for this area of the body to be completely in health. For me, in the moment when I saw the disease like asthma, it's one of the best to help the people who have the crise of asthma. Can help them to recover this and even to treat correctly if you will give from them together with the queen larva and with air from the beehive. So this kind of product, it's incredible high level of the possibility to help your body to be clean correctly and to go in correct function. Raw pollen. Last 12 years ago, I was known only of the dry pollen. When I test the first time dry pollen, I thought, no, it's not possible. It's so bad test. But in time, I realized that was a pollen was not dry correctly and was not so good for the human consumption. In time, I read a lot about pollen, and I around with the dose what is correctly for the body. Depends with the weight of the body. Usual for the people, I offer 10 gram for 20 kilo body weight. Upper in 30 gram for 20 kilo of the body weight if you do the treatment for the people, and if it's necessary to clean correctly the body because they have a lot of problem, a lot of health problem, a little complicated disease like autoimmune disease, like a cancer, like a lot of pathology, who we know that's inside in their body, it's a lot of recycle what the liver can't process and can't put it out of the body. So pollen is the most important cleanser who can help the body to put it out all what body can't do it alone. Sometimes I use huge amount of pollen from the people who really need it, like 200 gram per day or 250 gram per day. But in the literature of specialty, they tell that only between 10 and 30 gram per day, and not all the year. They tell 2 times on 3 months per year. In apitherapy, to use it only between 30 and 50, and before the meals with 1 to 2 hours. But in my personal opinion, after more than 10 years of the experience, I can tell you that you can eat in one day between 100 and 250 grams of pollen without to have adverse reaction, only to be followed for one doctor who know exactly what dose to offer for you and to do correctly the treatment. In time, I was asked myself, what is the best for apitherapy and like a food for the human consumption? And my conclusion, after I read a lot of research, is that the best is raw pollen. Why? Because if you dry the pollen upper than 32 degrees, there you decrease the amount of vitamin C, E, A, which is exactly in charge with your immune system, and decrease it all the nutrients with minimum 31%. It's a lot. It's really a lot. And if you store it only in the temperature room from 1 year, you lost 50% of the value of the pollen. So, the most important for me personally, if you want to have the results, to harvest correctly the raw pollen, this is first, and second, to preserve in the frozen and to be raw pollen without to be transformed in no one way. What is the most important, and what I told you in the first slide was that we look to eat zinc and selenium, which is 2 important key for immune system to sustain to work correctly. And what is the way to work from them in our body? Look here. Zinc are responsible for development, correct cells reproduction. What means this? This means if you eat pollen who contain zinc, you can sustain your body to recover the cells or to produce the new cells in correctly function. Selenium. to protect the cell's membrane against oxidation, to protect of the toxic substance and heavy metals who usually produce the mutagen inside in the chromosome, which is really important. If you have selenium in the body and if you have zinc in the body, your immune system, your reproduction cells will be in completely correct way to work. Look of the research, what I found it, that bee pollen, it's an immunomodulator. What means this? If your body don't work correctly, will help your body to work correctly. If your body have excess of something in the body, will help the body to work correctly and to put it out what it's in too much amount in the body. I found sometimes the people, for example, who correct in their body a lot of iron. I can't find the way to help them to have the correct amount of iron in the body except bee bread. And for me, I understand that the bee product will help you to find the way in the middle, in the harmony of your body. Immunomodulating from the bee products, you can find in more different studies, scientific study. Why? Because this is the way to work for all the bee products, to help the body only in the moment when it's necessary. If I look with the amount of the protein, what have inside the bee bread, it's 23%. And look to the digestibility of the bee products. If you take it from 100 gram, you take inside in your body immediately 79%. What means this? That the body will receive it immediately like perfect food for them. What means that body need this kind of food, need to can work correctly. What means bee bread and what is the way to take it in our body? Usual, if you look here, immunostimulation for child. Usual in 1 year, I work with more than 5,000 child who receive the mixture with the bee bread every spring and every autumn, and who never have a problem with a health. 2 of this example, it's my child. They learn to eat bee products and they never have a problem. Why? Because if you take in your diet daily, like a food, not like a pills, like a food, your body correctly, and to sustain all the different possibility what he receive it, to can stay in front and do what is necessary to remain in health. So, exist more different possibility to take bee bread. You can take few months like a probiotic daily, 2-5 grams per day, or you can do the cure like I do it 40 days, every day only bee bread, 100 grams per day, and except this, I drink only water, fresh juice, and vegetable and fruits without to be cooked. And I make the analyze before and after blood analyze. And I can tell you that what tell the research that you can sustain completely your body with this kind of food, it's true. Because my body received all what he needed and remained in perfect health after 40 days. We arrive in royal jelly. I was in love with royal jelly and I'm already in love with royal jelly. Why? Because for me, don't exist so little substance who can make so huge things in your body, who can sustain your body, who can sustain your health, who can sustain your immune system, and who can sustain your longevity. And when I write this article, use of royal jelly as a function food in human and animal health, I will think, what can I do for the people to open their mind to understand that if they will start to eat royal jelly, in that moment, they will make the most big step what is possible in the world to can sustain and function your body. Why? Because royal jelly contains the substance what no one food in the world contains. And even it's so little amount, it can do so huge support for your body that no one food in the world can do it. What can I tell you about the immunomodulating, which to sustain your immune system? It's a lot of people who are afraid to take royal jelly for the cancer disease. In this case, was proved not for one scientific people, for more of them, who was published and who was tell it all the time. Royal jelly do the way to sustain the body in the good mode. Will not develop never the cancer cells. He will stop the cancer cells and will recover only the cells with incorrect health. And look at here, royal jelly, because he helped the body to found the cancer cells and to put it out because it's apoptotic and antitumoral, and to sustain the new cells who recover correctly under the protection. Please don't be afraid to use it royal jelly even you have cancer. Everywhere in the statistic, if you have allergy, royal jelly is anti-allergy, can help your body. It's anti-cancer, it's anti-inflammatory, and it's a lot of publication who prove it this. It's not me only who I tell it this. And if you go in this website, it's a website with the Stefan Bogdanov, who worked more than 26 years only with a bee products. Royal jelly, usually the people are afraid to use even in chemotherapy when the immune system are incredible down. And look what it's written here. By the chemotherapy, you can help the body to sustain him and to sustain your immune system to support more easy the chemotherapy, who all of us know that it's so hurting to do it this. Because have immunomodulatory activity was proved that royal jelly support the immune system. Another publication who proved that you can use the royal jelly in the breast cancer. It's possible. Show this publication for all the doctors who told for the people, don't eat royal jelly when you have cancer, because it's not true what they tell it. They only don't know that exists this provement in the world that it's possible to use it. It's all, nothing else. I was surprised when I saw this publication, and I want to show for all of you. It's a lot of people in the world who now on this period, when they have the infection with the COVID, they take the aspirin. Look who have the same effects like aspirin, even better than aspirin. It's royal jelly, who have nearly the same effects like a morphine and better than aspirin. This is proved with this scientific research what they do it here. Why it's work all these bee products to support the immune system? Because this is a key for all the bee products, and you must to know that not only royal jelly contain 10-HDA, all the bee products contain HDA. Only was not proved until now. But if you do the analyze for pollen, for bee bread, for queen larva, for drone larva, in all of them you will find desanoic acid, 10-HDA, which is a key to sustain immune system. For this, all the bee products, it's so high level of sustaining of immune system. It's not important what kind of them you will take it, only take it in your diet, because there you will support completely your immune system and you will make the immunomodulatory activities. It's incredible that it's so many research who prove that this 10-HDA, it's a key to support and modulate your immune system. It's not one, it's a lot, but the people don't have access of them and people don't know where to find it and they don't know this information. For this, they don't know, it's all. What means with the royal jelly when you want to offer for the people who make apitherapy? First, try to don't feed your beehive with sugar, only with honey. Third, try to keep the royal jelly in the frozen, because this is scientific provement for all of you that the best way to maintain all the properties of the bee products of the royal jelly first, it's to put it in the frozen. For 6 months, you can take in refrigerator, and from 2 years to preserve all the nutrients is to go in the freezer. If you look with the amount of 10-HDA, this is research was made in my country for one lady she's doctorand, and she took everything what is in the market and she tried to do the analysis for all of this. And I will show you something what I hope you, like a beekeeper, if you are there the beekeeper, try please to don't do it. If you look of the amount of 10-HDA, you can see here that in Romanian you can find between 1.41 and 3.08. For more than 10 years, I do a lot of research in the way of royal jelly, and I can tell you very clear that royal jelly from Romania, it's upper than 2.0. So this means if you found in the market from beekeepers to buy the royal jelly with 1.41, this is not Romanian or European royal jelly. This is Chinese royal jelly. And please don't do this, because you will not find the good reaction of the body. And I found even the people who have allergy of the royal jelly and was only Chinese royal jelly. And I will tell you why. Because starting in 2012, the Chinese people, they produce 10-HDA chemical. And they get it inside in, I don't know what substance, and I don't know what they do it there. But this royal jelly, it's not working like working European royal jelly. And please don't do this. Don't tell for the people that you have local royal jelly, instead that to buy royal jelly from the China and to sell it from them, because they will be disappointed and they will return and tell it's not working with royal jelly. and you lost a lot. So for the lady, all the time I tell, keep it minimum 100 grams of real jelly per year. Why? Only to sustain your hormonal system. If you want to take it daily, you can take it, but very few amount, like 1 gram per day. This will not make something bad in your body. But usual, I tell for the people, don't take every day royal jelly. Take only when is necessary, because this increase very quickly your immune system. And on this way, and on that moment, you can take huge amount of royal jelly for 3 days. Eat 10 grams of royal jelly, 3 days, and there you go out of the situation. I found queen larva, one of the most important products what you can have it. If you are producer of royal jelly, you must have queen larva too. Why it's so important? Because contain coenzyme Q10, which is very, very important, and of course 10-HDA, to sustain your immune system and your cardiovascular system. For me personally, I was really impressed to see the composition of the bee brood in comparison with the other products what we have it in our diet. Even with the protein, look of the larva have 50% of the protein, and look of the queen larva have 80% of the protein, and look with the meat, it's less than queen larva. So this means if this contain 10-HDA, it's more important than the meat. 1 second, please. And there, if sometime you will get it, look of the amount of 10-HDA. It's upper than for royal jelly. And if you look of the components, vitamin A, vitamin C, sorry, I speak too much. You saw there everything who can sustain your immune system. 10-HDA, vitamin C, all the B vitamin, who all is in charge with your immune system. Now we go to the pilar meal. For me, it's very interesting, this product, because I do some research together with the Turkish people, Turkish professor Dr. Banu Yücel, and we give from the chicken to eat drone larva. And I want to show you the results. Look, what's happened here? It's increased the dimension of the testicle from the male, who means in the moment when you will take this kind of food, the hormonal part of the man start to work with the high level. So for the men who don't have, for example, the level of the testosterone, and who don't have correctly working function for the male system, if you start to eat apilar meal or drone larva, you receive the correct food to go in the correct function. Because you ask me by the COVID and what was proved this year, the most important bee products who can help for us in this infection, it's a propolis. And it's true that if you will take huge amount of the propolis, not like a food, that like a substance who can manage this virus in the body, on that moment, you can help your body to kill very quickly this virus inside and to give the way for the body to be well. For me, the propolis, I use him in a lot of different ways. We know that propolis is one of the old bee products what the people use it in the world, and it's a lot of scientific provement that it's working in the respiratory infection, in asthma, in allergy, in all the way where the body needs to be sustained in front of the bacteria, of the virus, and even of the parasites. He can help to recover the balance in the body. For the propolair, in your country, you are one of the most known country who use these techniques for a long time away. And for us, it's more new than in your country. But here, in the right part, I can show you in my center of apitherapy, even it's not with the bees, it's with the device who produce the propolair in the air. On this house, usual, I stay nearly daily with the people who is ill. And now I have more than 6 months when I do the job, my job there, and I don't take this virus inside in my body. And for me, it's very clear provement that if you stay in the propolair, will kill the virus without to get it inside in your body. I produce this after I make the first travel in your country, and was one of my first experiment with the bee air. For me, was very interesting because I found so many provement that it's so useful for the body to have it this and to use it this. But to can help people with this kind of treatment in that way, it's very important to be all the time there. And me personally, I can't be everywhere all the time. So I make the experiments, and now I can tell for the people, use it this, because it's really working. But this kind of device can work it only in the period when it's the working period for the bees too. And this is only 4, 5, maximum 6 months on the year. And on the rest, what we do it with the people who needed this kind of things. So I think the most important solution, and I follow all the time this possibility to help the people, here was in Kiev. This is me, and this is one doctor, my colleague. And this was one of the first model what I saw. In your country, when I was impressed to see so many solutions like this in most different parts of your country. And I was really happy. But I found this solution after I make the first experience with the device who can produce the microparticle of the propolis all the time of the year. And I propose even for all of you, if you have these kind of things, get it inside propolair too, and make the microparticles of the propolis all the time of the year. It's the same useful for the respiratory system, and you can help all the time in the year all the people who need it. So what I do it in my office was to use this kind of device and to put a lot of wax and a lot of all the bee products what we have it in that area. And when you go inside, it's like you go inside in the beehive, because the smell is completely the same and you receive it exactly the same microparticles, except it's a difference between this kind of solution and the solution with the beehive, because there you have the essential of the smell of all the different products what you have it inside in the beehive, and the hormones from the bees. So this you can't reproduce in this kind of space, and it's more useful the other, only you can't use it all the year. So we try to find the balance between one and other and to help the people all the time. For me, the apitherapy and to get all the bee products in our diet, it's not only to sustain your immune system, it's to receive the balance for your health and to preserve your health. If you start to eat all the bee products on that moment, you will help your body to work correctly. And for me, if you really want to help the people to have these products, try to offer for the people through bee products, high quality of them, proper storage, put it correctly. If it's needed frozen, get it in frozen. If you need it freezer, put it in freezer. If you need the fridge, put it in fridge, but storage correctly. And try to know the correct condition and correct way to produce the therapeutical bee products, because with this you'll have the results immediately. The benefits of the bee products: first, it's very, very low cost in comparison with the classical treatment for the people. Think how much spend for one people who stay 2-3 weeks in the hospital on this period. Instead, to help the body, to sustain him, and to stop all this in the first second in 24 hours. I think it's wow. Can't exist the comparison between one and the other. The results what we will have it with the bee products, we will not found it with no one the other food, because it's so complex and contain inside so huge amount of the nutrients what body needed to can live, what you can't find it in no one the other food. Only part of different nutrients, but not so complex together. I hope was useful for you, and I want to wish for you to try to be like bee, because without bee you will not be and will not be health.
Thank you, Alina, very much for your nice presentation. Now I will ask our participants if they have any question to write it down. Maybe, Alina, you also see it. I have one question which was put forward before from Mr. Silvo, and he just wanted to know on the general, the composition of bee breath. If you have the answer and information about that, we will be happy. I think you already
I write the article.
Yeah, write it down.
And you
but
can offer for the people my article with the bee bread and royal gel and the bee pollen. The second I will show you again, not this, is it's the article what I write it, and there you can find all the components. The second, not this, it's before, is this. There you can find completely information about what you ask it, and you can go in B hexagon too from the Mr. Bogdanov, what I show you, and there you can find all this information the same. Because if I will tell you here, look here, it's www.bhexagon.net is there, okay? And there you can get all the information because it's a long and huge. And I think there you can have a view correctly and to read in quiet and to remember in your head. Okay?
Gospod Silva, upam, da ste zadovoljni s vprašanjem. Alina, another question from Mr. Marco. Why you can use bee komora all the year? Bees are inside the hive all the year and the aerosols too.
I don't put inside in this, what I do it, try to do separately. Or to cut the part where is the beehive, because if you'll worm this part, the bees will not feel correctly and they will try to go out and they will be frozen, okay? They don't stay like in the winter. So to can get with only bee air, with the microparticle of the propolis, try to do different room who can be warm, who can stay inside all the year, somebody, and there try to get all the bee products what you have it, like a wax, like a frame, or anything else who can give all the environment of the beehive.
Mr. Marco is applying more that he has the komora and they don't go out.
I don't understand, sorry.
Yeah, me neither, Mr. Marco, if you explain your question a little bit more, but before he writes us, I will ask another question from two attenders about apitoxin. Where
About
and how can you use the bee sting and apitoxin?
I use all the time the bee sting. All the time I have in my house some bees. But to can do this, first you want to know, you must to know all what means emergency in this case. Because I teach in my life a lot of different doctors and they can't get in the hand the solution in the moment when the people can arrive in anaphylactic shock. Me personally, I don't want to push somebody to do this kind of treatment if they can't manage the anaphylactic shock. And in the different disease, you can use it. I can speak with you 10 hours about the bee venom and what you can do it to treat, because it's a special point what you must to know, and it's a special dose according with what feel the people who needed this kind of treatment, and it's different even the treatment from one session to the other session, to understand me correctly. And for this, it's very important to take a lesson, huge lesson, to can understand all the details and what's happened if you want to do the treatment with the bee venom. Yes, it's working. I swear, it's working. It's working perfectly. But depends from who you do it. Because if you speak about herpes, for example, you can kill the virus of herpes with one little sting. But sting means you took with this the sting of the bees, and with this you do micro apipuncture there, because if you put directly one bees completely there, the Botox will be nothing in front with what you'll receive, because it's the mucous, is the most sensible part of the body. So you must know to take out the sting of the bees and to do the macro apipuncture there. So it's a lot of information to can offer in this way if you really want to do something like this. But to learn you this, to teach you this, and to learn all this, it's necessary to start with the emergency. What you must to do it in the different stage of the reaction of the people from the bee venom.
The question about the bee venom further on is there any relations with corona disease and treating that? And also, how do you use it in some kind of creams and so on for pain in the back or the knees and so on? Do you use it also in these substances like creamy to put on the skin?
Yes, it's more easy to use like a cream. Here in Romania, we have the institute, Beekeepers Institute, who produced the cream with long time ago. It's really useful, this cream, and you can use it without adverse reaction. And yes, when you have some painful somewhere, but what is most important to know, with the cream, you put it out only the reaction of the hurting on that moment. You don't solve the problem on the root. And the problem on the root with this kind of hurting somewhere in the body, it's a food. And usually, this kind of adverse reaction give cow dairy, which eat it in most big amount, not in balance. So, bee venom, like a cream, it's one of the best solution. Bee stings is very good. Microacupuncture is the best what exists. But you must know the point where to give it, even from the coronavirus. Yes, you can offer, but it's not the best bee product for the corona. For coronavirus, is propolis. It's in the top. So if you have strong amount of the propolis, this is the best. And oxygenated water, honey in water. This is two products who is the best from corona.
Thank you, Alina. Also, some further question about connection of epitherapy and salt therapy. Do you maybe have any relation about these two therapy to be connected and use it together?
Salt therapy is more important from the respiratory system. It's the environment where you can't develop like a pathogen. If you are virus, you can't develop in the salt air. It's sterile air. You cannot receive exactly the same with the propolis. With the propol air and with the salt air, it's exactly the same environment. But the difference is that propolis, microparticle of the propolis, when arrive in the air, they keep it, the oxygen, in the schedule, chemical schedule, and push it inside in the respiratory system and push it the body to be oxygenated. This you can't receive with the salt air. Okay?
Okay, thank you. The next question is why the bees' air is only to breathe when the bees are working?
Because there you can find all the bee products inside in the beehive. In the winter, the beehive, it's not so rich in all the bee products. It's only few of them. And the queen, it's not working with the high level. You know the pheromone who is on the skin of the bees and who give the smell of the beehive. This, it's one of the most important substances to help the respiratory system. And the key to help the respiratory system is to have how much it's possible brood inside the younger bees. But you can't find it in the winter because they decrease a lot, and it's only old bees who try to survive over the winter.
It is logical. Thank you for that, Alina. And another question is just to explanation. I think that the gentleman didn't understand that. What did you mean when you mentioned queen bee larva? Is this the larva of bee workers? So he didn't understand the differences.
The larva of queen, attention. The queen and bees come with the same egg. Bees receive 3 days royal jelly, and after this they receive common food, pollen with nectar, with everything. Queen receive all she's life only royal jelly, and even they come with the same egg, one live 40 days and the other can live 3, 4, 5 years. The difference between one and the other, it's only the food, and food it's royal jelly. So queen bee larvae, it's the bees, the larvae of the bees who receive only royal jelly. In the moment when you harvest royal jelly inside in the cells, in the queen cells, there you get it the larva who eat all she's life only royal jelly, and this is a queen larva. And after you harvest royal jelly. It's
Thank
clear
you.
now?
Yeah, I
Yes.
believe so that you explain clearly. I skipped before one question regarding to appeller nil, so I would like to come back and ask about use of appeller nil in chicken food. How long?
We do this from 3 months, and you will receive a lot of egg. This I can tell you.
Mhm.
And from the cockroach, they will be more active, and if you want to produce the new generation of the chicken, there will be a lot of cockroach inside. But this phenomenon, I was saw from the human too. If the man take appelarnil, he will produce the male, not the female.
Hmm.
So give the influence. I give you the key now for the people who want to reproduce themselves and to receive boys or lady. So if the man will get in their diet appelarnil, they can produce more male.
Thank you.
Welcome.
One question more about bee pollen, and we soak it in the water. And here is the question: how long has to be soaked in the fluid before we use it?
Because we use the fresh pollen normally in 2 minutes. When you make like this in your cup, it must be completely open. If you use dry pollen, even you put it starting in the evening and drink it in the morning, you will find already there some pieces. Why? Because the cellulose, what contain the dry pollen, can't be open. It's all.
Thank you. Here is also some questions, a lot of questions for you, Alina. I think that one of them we already answered, but here is also a question from Mr. Bostian. Honey for babies under 12 months. Any new research about that and connection with botulism?
I do in Ankara one presentation only about this. If you want, I can open, but I need another lesson for 45 minutes to explain all this if you want. And you must understand that this, what you found inside in the beehive, it's in charge only with the good beekeeping practice of the beekeepers. And what I never understand, why, if you have this honey, 500 kilo, why you don't ask from the laboratory, from the analyze to see if have inside this bacteria or not? Because if don't have inside this bacteria, it's not forbidden for the child to offer for them. But this bacteria, it's in charge only with the good beekeeping practice. If you are careful in everything, it's clean. If you like a beekeeper are in perfect condition and in perfect health, normally you not must to found inside in the beehive this kind of bacteria. And on the analyze in the lab, and I will be happy if somebody in the world will start to do the analyze from the honey and to tell on the pot, this kind of honey don't contain this bacteria according with the analyzed number. You can use from the child between 6 months and 1 year. If you remember Natasha Pushpendra from India, he was tell for us a story that all the child who come in life in India, the first what they receive in their mouth, it's one drop of honey. One drop of honey. And think of India, they don't live in the most important cleanser possibility. So if you are very clean like a beekeeper, you can produce this kind of honey. So don't be warm, do the analyze, and you can offer for the child.
Thank you. Another question, I think that a part of that you already answered during your presentation, but Mr. Aleš is asking, is there anywhere in the world going on a practical and scientific study about apitherapy for COVID-19 virus treatment?
Yes,
Any
more and
testimonials about that?
It's here. I'll show you again. It's in the finale of my presentation because you asked me. It's very new, this presentation. Propolis was here. This, and you can see here who do this research. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Also, one question, I think that this was already clear during your presentation. Can the royal jelly be used at addition disease?
Can be royal jelly used for?
At addition disease.
Yes, can be. Can be. I ask myself, why the people take drug and smoke and drink when we have royal jelly? It's one of my topic question, if I can tell it. Because what's happened? These kind of people, they don't feel accepted, and they don't feel that the people offer for them love. This means the level of the serotonin inside in the body. Serotonin is the substance to give for you the happiness. They don't produce it. And with the addiction like alcohol, cigarette, drugs, and anything else, they even decrease the level of this. So how much they take it, how much decrease this substance. And with royal jelly is the most quicker possibility to increase your level of serotonin. And all the big products, the royal jelly is the most faster. But pollen, bee bread, they have the same, the environment to form this substance. So if you start to eat bee bread, pollen, and royal jelly, you will see that alone your body don't need it anymore. Cigarette, alcohol, drugs, and anything else.
Thank you. I think it is just one question more. And it is about how to explain the acceptance of honey in the best way to use it. Oh, sorry, I am reading two at the same time. How professionally explain the acceptance of honey products for the diabetics?
It's a lot of study from the diabetics. The most important honey is acacia honey, and it's some research was made even in our university. I think I have this research too. They prove it that if you start to eat honey, acacia honey, you help the pancreas to recover Langerhans cells if you mix together with royal jelly. So honey is who care on the destination, and royal jelly is alone products who can recover the Langerhans cells, who is in charge to produce insulin. But remember what I tell you now. All the diabetics people, they eat too much cow dairy, and they don't have enzyme to digest this. First information one you can offer for them is to stop to eat cow dairy. And there you have a study made it from United States from Dr. Campbell. The name is Chinese study, which study made it on 70,000 people who prove it. Then casein, which is a protein inside in the cow dairy, have exactly the same structure like a Langerhans island who produce insulin. And in the moment when he don't have enzyme to cut and to keep it or to put it out of the body, this protein casein, they don't do the difference with the Langerhans island who produce insulin and casein, which is the important and primary protein inside in the cow dairy. So in that moment, they try to destroy the two. So how much you will eat the products with the casein, cow dairy, how much you will destroy the island which is in charge to produce the insulin. And all of you can read it, this study. It's not only me. I found it and I put in place and I found that it's true, what he told it there. And alone food who recovered the island, Langerhans Island, it's royal jelly. I don't find no one another food who can help to recover these cells. So first, put out of the dairy all the food. All the cow dairy is the first step from the diabetics people, and after offer for them to eat royal jelly.
Great, very good information. One question still appear here, and it is about, do you make fermented pollen by your own, and what is the best way to use it?
You know something? I work in ISOnorm, international ISOnorm from all the bee products. And for me, to ferment it like a homemade, to ferment it pollen to arrive to be bee bread, you never can offer the environment, correct environment from pollen to arrive to be like will produce bees. For me, this kind of way to ferment it, it's adulterated bee bread. Sorry to tell you this, but you never will have the same results like you have with the correct bee bread, which is made by the bees with their enzyme, with their environment of the temperature and all what they offer there like a bacteria. You can't reproduce bee bread correctly, and you never will have the same result. So Chinese royal jelly with 10 HDR chemical, and in my opinion, royal jelly is the most adulterated bee products what exists in the world. Bee bread reproduced by the human with the pollen fermented with a lot of different lactobacilli and crazy things, it's adulterated product. It's exactly like you want to offer for the bees to eat sugar, syrup of sugar, and the next few days to harvest royal jelly, to harvest correct honey. Is the same. Sorry, I don't agree this. Because after you lost the people around you who expect to have the results and they tell the bee bread it's not working. And royal jelly is not working. And I have an allergy with royal jelly. And me never I saw somebody to have an allergy with true royal jelly or true honey or true bee bread.
Thank you. A lot of information is coming that people are really grateful for your presentation, but also a little bit more question is appearing, so sorry. And I would like also for you to answer some more. So Mr. Andrei, want to thank you for a very interesting presentation, and he wants to ask you, how about multiple sclerosis at your country, and is there any connection to treat it with bee products?
Yes, it's possibility to treat it with the bee product. If you want individual treatment, I can offer for all of you one email address. Please write in English. I try to chat for all of you. It's my colleague will offer you free possibility to find the information about the treatment in this kind of disease, because the body reacts in so many different ways. It's necessary to ask more information and to give the individual treatment. But like a little way in this disease, the best is to avoid to eat cow dairy who blocked the lymphatic system to be cleaned correctly. Third, to do the deparasitation, and in that way, bee venom and propolis is the best. And third, to sustain the body with royal jelly and bee bread and pollen who contain 10-HDA, because 10-HDA it's alone who help to recover the myelin. Myelin it's a cover of the nervous system who usually in this kind of disease it's destroyed by the body. And the rest, if you want something individual, please write for the doctor to can answer you correctly way and to give you the question, to can find the correct solution for you to have the results.
Another question is about the quantity of the royal jelly, which is mixed with bee pollen and honey. Do you maybe have any recipe for that kind of mixture?
For immune system or for what? To preserve or to treat?
To preserve, I suppose.
To preserve, okay. I'll write here too, okay? 500 grams of honey plus 250 grams of fresh pollen plus 50 milliliter of propolis. Usually I work with the propolis with 70% of propolis. If you don't have it this and you have only with 30%, put double quantity. Plus, usually I mix bee products together with essential oil, and I recommend in this kind of mixture 20 drops of lemon essential oil, who is in charge to increase the number of the leukocytes who take care of your body to recover quickly. Is this? This is a classical recipe. Okay.
Thank you very much.
What I want to tell for all of you, never combine together bee bread with pollen in the same recipe. Do only with bee bread or only with the pollen, never together.
Thank you. This is very important information. Also a question about goat dairy for diabetics. You know, you said that cow dairy is not good for them. And what about goat milk and dairy?
Even goat meat have a casein. The problem from this disease is casein. It's a little amount or a huge amount. It's only how much work I give from the body. No one is correctly. You must start to use the vegetable dairy, like rice milk, oat milk, hemp milk is not important, but not from the animals, because these contain casein. And you can do the analyze from your body in the blood. They can do it from casein.
Thank you.
Okay.
Before we talk about making fermented pollen by own and the way to use it, and Mr. explained his question a little bit more. He meant fermented with honey.
This is mixture between honey and pollen. It's all.
Yes, yes, yes.
It's not bee bread.
Yeah. Alina, I think that we You answered all the questions, and people are saying thank you for your presentation. You also have here in Slovenia a lot of beekeeper friends, so they are saying hello to you and sending greetings to Romania. I would also like to thank you for your presentation and all the information you gave us. So thank you for now, and I think we will be in touch in future, and I hope so that corona situation gets better, and the next year the Slovenian epitherapists come to see you in Romania and to see and hear a lot of important information about bee products and epitherapy. Thank you very much.
I have a good welcome. I have a very good news for you. You can organize from the next year, because in January we'll be finished all this incredible situation. So in January they will find some solution, I'm sure about. It's maximal what I give it from them. So let's see if it's happened or not. But I'm sure that the next year we can meet each other face to face, and everything will be like before, I'm sure about. But it's good, this lesson for us with COVID, because we'll learn to eat bee products to sustain our body.
I agree. Thank you. Stay healthy, and I wish you the best. So bye-bye and good night.
Good night for all of you, and thank you, and see you.
Thank you, see you, bye bye. Hvala lepa tudi vsem vam, ki ste se udeležili tega predavanja. Jaz verjamem, da smo izvedeli mnogo novih zanimivih informacij in seveda z željami, da naslednje leto tudi apiterapevti obiščemo Alino in praktično vidimo vse, kar počne, vas prav lepo pozdravljam. Kot rečeno, prevod njenega predavanja bo dosegljiv v prihodnjih nekaj dnevih na naši spletni strani, tako da zaenkrat vas samo lepo pozdravljam, želim vam, da ostanete zdravi in se vidimo ob naslednji priložnosti. Lahko noč in srečno.